So I pushed play, pushed go live, and my neighbor's yard guys decided that this was the time to do the yard. I should have known. I just looked at their grass yesterday and I was like, man, they really need their grass done. And yeah, so my apologies to anybody who is popping in and hears my neighbor's yard guys going to town over there, but their grass was really, really long. They'll be done soon. It's not very much grass. Not very much grass at all. Hopefully everybody can hear me though that is on here. If you're catching a replay, make sure that you let me know that in the comments section. If you're catching a replay, or if you're catching this on my business coaching page or on YouTube, also just let me know in the comments section, hey, this is a replay. So this morning I wanted to jump on real quick. Morning John. Hey, neighbors, yard guys decided that as soon as I said go live, here we are. Like, okay, here we are. So no, but this morning I decided I was just kind of running around. I've been up for quite some time and actually fell asleep snuggling on the couch. Just fell asleep. Woke up to my daughter walking in to get my lawnmower. Funny enough. Thank you. All right, you can hear me good. Yeah, I woke up to my daughter coming to get my lawnmower because they don't have a lawnmower for their property. She's like, well, you look awake. So I told her I would be up by 6:30. So she comes in at 7 o'clock and I'm passed out. We're snuggling on the couch, just sleeping, drooling on each other's heads or something. Well, I wasn't drooling on anybody's head. I was drooling on somebody's chest. But yeah, so I thought, as I was sitting there and I'm listening to different things and talking to kids as they were getting up and different stories coming about, morning Anita, that the topic of today really is, it's going to be about storms. It's going to be about storms, as the title says, like when life gets stormy, go inside. And for us here in Texas, and I don't really stay up on like what the weather's doing all over the world or all over the United States or even all over the state of Texas, but for us here in the Dallas, North State area of Texas, our weather has been really funky this year. I've been here now 11 years, and I have not experienced a summer like this in 11 years. So it's been really, really interesting because we have numerous thunderstorms coming through. I mean, like right now, my sky here is just beautiful blue, and it's just this awesome temperature. I'm thinking, later I go to pool. I could go and keep up on my suntan that I got done in the DR, a couple weeks ago, and do all this kind of stuff. I just kind of have like a chill, relaxed mama day with my kids and everything, because that's what we got going. That's what's on my agenda today. It's just kind of chilling and relaxing. That's been this whole week. I kind of work a week on, a week off, a week on, a week off. And yeah, that's kind of like my schedule is. But yesterday, it started out like this. It was hot out, it was sunny out, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like a friend of mine, she said, she took pictures of the storm that came in. She's like, this is what it looked like when the storm came in at 70 to nothing flat, And that's really what it was that the storm just kind of blew in out of nowhere. The sky got really dark, and then it just went push, and it just came down, and then it was just gone. It was just gone. And we had that happen this year. It is a couple times a week, if not almost every single day some weeks, which is really temperamental of our weather here in Texas. And I know that Texas is known for Mother Nature being off her meds frequently, as we like to joke, like you never know what you're going to get in Texas, like just be prepared for everything. And I was thinking about, I'm like, I lived 10 years up in Seattle, Washington, and we always make the jokes about that up there too, that you just got to be prepared for just about anything, because it could rain at the drop of a hat. Everybody carried with them, umbrellas in their cars and a little throw just in case and all that good stuff. But the weather really just was very temperamental up there. Well, Texas, it can be temperamental, but it's not ever been this kind of crazy temperamental, just the thunderstorms that we have. So why am I telling you about, here I am, conscious copying it, right? Which is normally a lesson about energy, normally a lesson about manifesting, normally just, shares on that. What the heck does the weather have to do with any of that? Well, because I also see in 2019, for many people, self included, a very stormy year. It has just been a stormy year for so many of us. I just got an email from a client of mine last year who came in, signed up for this massive program. Her and her husband, they did one appointment with me, and they went off to Africa for a month for this grand safari, and then they touched base, and then I never heard from them again. And then she just emailed me this morning, and she's like, hey, you took me off a schedule. I didn't get the July schedule. Last year was crazy. This year has just been absolutely weird and crazy for us, and we really want to take advantage of the coaching. And I have had probably 5 or 6 people in the last month do just that. Tell me how crazy the end of last year was and how crazy the beginning of this year was, and now they're ready. Now they're ready to come out of their hiding spots and move forward again. And here's the thing, that's exactly what happens. We go through these storms in our life, and they really just kind of rock our boats, right? There's so many things that can happen. Life can get really stormy, really crazy, can really do all these different things to us. And for a lot of people, it is hard, because what we want to do is we want to complain about the storm. We want to complain about the bad weather, right? That's what seems natural to do. It feels comfortable to do it. It's always raining. I haven't been able to go outside for a long time. My tan is fading. My business is dying because there's too much rain. My son-in-law, he is a salesman for Subaru, and car sales are down and everything, and a lot of that has to do with weather. In seriousness, I have kids that are in the service industry, a bartender in my family and everything, and she was telling me how much tips are done, and that they're just down and everything. And it's very, very interesting to hear that. Well, it's because of the storminess of our area, right? Well, relate that out to that big picture of your life. Where are the storms at in your life? What's going on? And it might not necessarily be that you personally are doing anything to cause the storms. It is possible that these storms are brewing energetically, and that you are needing to get something from it. So instead of complaining about it, looking at what you can create from it. I know that I keep saying, well, 2019 for me is a building year. Building is about creation. It is all about creation. So instead of going and really focusing in, I do my fair share of frustration, right? Oh, this year is doing this. This year is doing that. I feel frustrated around this. I feel frustrated around that. But I look at that frustration, and as I quickly process it, and I go, hey, okay, so I'm really feeling frustrated around this. Let's go inside. So much like when a storm comes, right? If you're outside and a storm comes, you go inside. You go inside to safety. You go inside to do things that you can do on the inside that you normally wouldn't be doing the inside work. Well, with the storms in our life, it's about going inside and doing that inside work, going in and really accessing different levels of yourself that maybe you wouldn't have been accessing when everything was peachy, sunny, all groovy and great out here, because your focus would have been brought to the outside world. You would have been, yes, enjoying this, but you wouldn't have been taking the time, you wouldn't have been given the time to actually go inside and clear out some of the processes, some of the old belief structures, some of the old holdbacks that you had that you didn't even know that you had until the storm came in. Once that storm comes in, now you're just stuck with the inside of your house, right? And it's like, oh man, maybe my baseboards need to be cleaned. Maybe I really need to get organized in this closet right here. Maybe I really need to take some stuff out. Maybe some of this is no longer for me to keep. Maybe I don't need to hold on to this. Am I being a hoarder of this? Now, yes, I'm using a house. I'm using a storm here. But we hoard our negative thoughts. We hoard our negative beliefs. We hoard our ways of being, and we hold on to those things as though they need to remain. And what a storm does in our life, and especially when it is an extended storm come over the course of a couple months, or even potentially 6 months, 9 months, a year, when things get really rocky. It's that, okay, you're getting ready to level up. You're getting ready to really access something else for yourself. But all the stuff that you've been keeping in, all the stuff that you've been suppressing and that you have been just not paying attention to because of all that sunshine out there, all that playtime that you've been doing, all that exterior exposure and experience and stuff that you've been doing out here, well, that did not allow you to do this inside work. And now for you to take that next level up and to be able to access that next level of stuff, it's time to come in and do your inside chores. Clean up your house, really get rid of all that stuff that's no longer needed, the burdens that you don't even realize that you have, the garbage that is sitting around that really needs to be taken out, the disorganization of the things in your life that just really cause a lot of chaos and do not allow you to have that clarity that you need. That is going to allow you to have more creation energy. But the trick here is that you have to have the creation energy. You have to bring your consciousness from the complaining to the creation. You have to just really focus in on, okay, here's what's going on. I can really focus in that it's pouring down rain outside. I can really focus in on what I potentially could be losing right now, on what I'm not having happen right now. On, I had this, when it was sunny outside, this is what I was doing, this is what I was doing, this is what I was doing. Or I can go, okay, it's raining. It's time to pause. It's time to give myself a timeout. It's time to go and do this work inside. So I encourage you this morning, I'm not going to make this a long conscious coffee by any means, but I encourage you to look internally. And if you are feeling like you're really getting held back in different areas, or that your life just seems to keep having these whirlwind storms happen, and you're like, what the heck is going on? Why can I not seem to catch a break in this or in that? What is the stuff that you're really just not feeling like you're accessing, and you feel like you're just struggling on that outside because your expectations are set to this, and now we need to have positive expectations for things. You want to put yourself into that mindset, but at the same time, sometimes to create those expectations, you have to go internally and you have to release the stuff that is holding you back. You have to release the things that need to be healed. They need to be cleaned up. The chaos that you have forming in different areas of your life, the closets in your thinking, in your emotions, in even the physical things that you do. Maybe it's just the structures of your day. Maybe your boundaries around your time or around your space are completely out of kilter. Maybe there's things from your past that you just have not let go of, and you keep rethinking them over and over and over again, and you cannot let go of that stuff, which is holding you back from actually accessing that new space in your life. So that when the sun does come back out, because the sun always comes out, always again, the birds will always chirp again as the bird starts chirping, of course. As the birds start chirping, that will happen, okay? That's going to happen in your life. You're going to have those beautiful moments, even with yard service guys that don't seem to want to quit next door. Really, there's not that much grass next door. I don't know what, I guess he's blowing though. That means he's almost done. Hold on. Blowing. Okay. He's almost done. Oh my gosh. I think he just threw over a trash can or something. It's like a griping noise out there. Seriously. Oh, you gotta love live streaming, right? I mean, that's what makes it like real life stuff. It's like, okay, I'm gonna live stream. Okay, they're gonna do the yard. Great. No. That cleanup that we need in our lives is so important for us to up-level whatever area it is. And I do coaching around relationship. I do coaching around abundance and business and everything, around really just accessing your authentic self in all areas of your life and thriving. I mean, that's truly what it is. It's about accessing who you really are and thriving. And it is so important to do that. But we can't access who we are and really thrive unless we clean up our messes, unless we get rid of the garbage that's kind of stinking up our energy, our lives. Because you can't thrive in a pit of, just disgust. You can't. If you are caught on these old ways of being, if you are caught on the complaining, on the irritation, on the worry, if you're pointing outward, because that's what complaining is. If you're blaming and you're applying guilt or shame to different scenarios, if you're looking at all of that stuff so negatively, realize that that really is going on the inside, and that cleanup work has to be on the inside. So when your life gets all wonky and weird and crazy, and I think they're done, at least they moved to the front yard. Then what you really have to do is you have to go inside and you have to look at it. And I can tell you some of the things that, one of my favorite prompts that I give myself frequently, actually, in my own journaling. They're back. He's like, no, we're not going to the front yard. We lied. One of the journal prompts that I give myself, and I encourage anybody who's following me in this crazy morning here to do, is to ask yourself, just write down, if no one's thoughts, ideas, beliefs, judgments, or perceptions of me mattered anymore, who would I be? What would I be doing? And what would that feel like? Okay? That prompt right there is so eye-opening to how we allow all this stuff out here get to us and prevent us from being who we really are. Now that they stopped. And I'll say it again. The journal prompt is, who would I be if everybody's thoughts, ideas, perceptions, expectations, and judgments no longer mattered? Who would I be? What would I be doing? How would that feel? And when you really get into that space, and you can say, well, I can't do that because da-da-da-da-da, and you're going to have all these reasons. Realize that is those clouds in the sky. Those reasons that you might make up for not being yourself are nothing more than rain clouds in the sky that are alerting you to, hey, there's some more cleanup that you need to do. So you need to go internal on this. You need to actually feel into that. You need to look at your own possibilities as to who you can be, as to what you really want, as to what it would really feel like to access this beautiful space of who you are, because who you are is so vitally important to your happiness. And if you're not happy, kind of like the old statement, if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. Well, that's true for anybody, though. It's not just a mama thing. It's like, if you're not happy, you can't be a positive influence, a positive ripple into the world in any fashion or form. So looking at what makes you happy, what ignites your soul, what really makes it about you and really turns you on to life is so very important, because that is how much more influence, how much more positive energy you're going to be able to bring into any relationship that you have in your world. And if you're having, financial troubles, if you're lost in your work, if you're wanting to manifest things at all, then realize that is also key manifesting energy. If you're feeling angry consistently, if you're feeling frustrated consistently, if you have a low grade or even a high grade depression going on, you're not going to be able to manifest much of good at all. You're going to just attract to you more stuff that causes these things to create themselves over and over and over again. It's like same story, different face, same story, different place. All this stuff, no matter where you go, there you are. And that is so true. So you need to get right with who you are and clean up your house and take the opportunities of when the storms come in life to not look at it as though a space that you need to complain about the storm. It's not a time to complain about the weather, because the weather is the weather, and the weather is just there to cleanse. It is there to bring new life, okay? And the way we gain new life from the storms that we go through in our lives is to do just what we do when a thunderstorm comes, to go inside. Go inside, access who you are just a little bit more, do the cleanup work, take the time to clean your house, to remove some trash, to get refocused, and really access your core of who you are, because that's where that creative energy is. And from that space, you can manifest amazing, amazing results in any area of your life. So, oh my goodness. Let me see. What have I got here? You got the notes on the journal prompts in the coaching section. As soon as you say, I got caught in a downpour after my live stream the other day. Yeah, it was like, it's been crazy. The guy that I date, drives a convertible, and he keeps taking his top off. And now we have this running joke that every time he takes his top off, God decides that he's going to make it rain. And this morning he looks at me and says, I'm going to take the top off of my car. And I said, oh God, there you go, taking your top off. That means it's going to rain again. He's pulled up the weather for me. He's like, it's not going to rain today. Look, it's beautiful, sunny all week. I'm like, yeah, you say that, but if you take your top off and God catches you going down the highway with your top off, then guess what? We're going to get flooded. So Addison, it's going to rain later today because Steve took the top off of his car again. The man will not listen. He will not keep his top on. It feels that way. It feels that way. Oh, yeah. No, right now it's beautiful blue skies and everything. Just don't do your live stream later. Anybody who that is in the Dallas area, don't do your live stream later because my guy took his top off. And if you're doing your live stream later outside, you're probably going to get rained on because Steve took his top off. Yep. So if it rains in Dallas, everybody blame Steve. Okay? Just do a shout out of it's all Steve's fault. Steve's fault. Steve's fault for the rain. Yeah. We'll have to come up with like some catchy hashtag for it or something. That's what we'll have to do. Don't want to see this shit. So yeah. No, let me see. Announcements. Ladies, you know that I've got Unstoppable. It's My Time to Fly running. It's just a 12-week course that I'm running training, which is going to be online live stream here on Facebook. Also, you get 6 one-on-one privates with me for absolutely steal of a deal. Of course, we're going to be accessing exactly how to tap into who you are. We're also going to be accessing how creation works. So we're going to be clearing out some of this junk on the first 4 weeks, building some beautiful foundation stuff. Moving into the second level of 4 weeks, we're going to go into creation mode, into really creating that designer life. And then the third 4 weeks, we're going to get a little hot and sizzly, and we're going to play around with some things that we all want probably more of or better of. And that is money, sex, and men. So we're going to really get into the abundance and the creation mode around those 3 topics, and also the healing around those 3 topics, because we hold a lot of the same energy around our money and our sex and our relationships. Those all mimic each other energetically. So when we have shame around one, we typically have some of the same programs around another area. Hey, morning, Nikki. Let me see. Morning, Joe, also. So yeah, so I'm going to be running Unstoppable. That last 3 weeks, it's really, I think it's going to be really hot during that weeks. But let me tell you, those first 3, when we're getting into the self-love, when we're releasing the good girl programs, when we're letting go of the shame and the guilt and all this self-sabotage crap that we put ourselves into, it can be really, really crazy. And that second weeks, I mean, that's really where I'm getting into some of the stuff that I teach in a lot of my business classes and everything. So we're really learning how to level up our vibration, level up everything that we want to have, and call in the abundance in all of our lives. Like I like to call it, that fuck yes life, or that orgasmic life and everything. It really is about having a life that is turned on, full of bliss, turned to that level that we just feel really good, because the better you feel, the more turned on you feel in your life. And guys, this is for you too. I mean, on that aspect, it's like you've got to be turned on to your life if you want to create. And like I said, if you have low grade energy coming in from things that you have not let go of, from these old baggage programs, and you haven't done your housework on the inside and cleaned out that crap, well, then it's going to keep you down at a lower level. So you need to definitely look at all that stuff. Guys, I do have a 12-week course coming out for you guys as well that will be similar to Unstoppable. I'm just trying to get one thing launched at a time here, not trying to launch too many things all at the same time. With that said, what else do I have going on? I had something else going on, and why can't I think of it? Oh, I yesterday put out the first initial announcement for my Superwoman Success Secrets for mompreneurs of today, and what I don't even have the whole thing fully created. It just came out of my fingertips. I had this. Anybody who follows me on the business aspect of things, you know that I do things like very just like in the spur of the moment, soul driven. And about a month ago, I was doing some journaling, and the title Superwoman Success Secrets for Mompreneurs of Today came out of my fingers in my taking of notes and everything. And I have this notebook of just ideas and everything. And that was just one of those titles I was like, that's really going to be like a killer course. And I have this whole course put together because I'm a mompreneur, you know, mama of 7, been a preneur since my early 20s. So I've got 20 years plus of really being a mompreneur under my belt. I decided, I hear a lot from people, how do you do it? How do you do it with 7 kids and running your own business? And, and my house is clean too. And I still manage to travel and to have romance and play and mom it up with my kids consistently and everything. And I thought, well, it's time for me to share that with all the other beautiful mamas out there who are trying to figure out their path and trying to figure out exactly what to do and what are some of those success secrets that I've learned to really bring in that harmony, that balance into work, love, and life. So I'm going to be sharing that in a 1-month program. So it's going to be killer. Look for that to be launching here probably in the next week with the write-ups and everything for the early bird sign up. But if that sounds interesting to you, you'd like to get on that wait list to hit that pre-launch when it does come out, make sure that you either pop me a message here in the comment section or just go ahead and private message me about it, and I will make sure to get that to you guys. All right, I guess that pretty much covers it. I don't see a whole lot of anybody saying anything. Morning, Greg. You'll have to just go back and catch everything here because I'm done. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee about some topic, who knows what, that is all about leveling up your vibration, bringing in beautiful orgasmic flow into your life, and thriving in work, life, and love. Okay, everybody, I will catch you tomorrow. As always, stop existing, start living. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. See you tomorrow. Love you.